It's Magic 102.1, the People Station, classic cuts and combos. Man, I went and dug back on this one for you folks, man. You're gonna like this one right here. My man was in a group called Men at Large, had a huge hit called So Alone, did some great things, about to do more great things. I'm gonna let him talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Dave Tolliver. Welcome to the show, brother.
What's up, baby? How you, man? What up, y'all? What up?
I'm good, man. Welcome to the H, man. And look, I usually don't do a lot of research on anybody because I'm a 90s 80s baby, so a lot of the artists you're kind of familiar with. Here is something I was not familiar with, but I was curious when I saw your last name because you don't hear the name Tolliver a lot. And then I saw some miscellaneous interview you did years ago, and it said that you were related to Lynn Tolliver, the great program director and DJ. To my knowledge, he had a song out back in the day by a group called Sexual Harassment. That was a classic underground hit back in the days. So before we even get into all the incredible stuff you've done and Men at Large, I have to ask you about being kin to Lynn Tolliver and how y'all related, man. Because I'm a radio geek too. So
yeah, me too. So that's my dad, really, man. He was my mom's brother, but my biological father was a clown, and but we're cool now. You know what I'm saying? Forgiveness is for you, not for them. You know what I mean? And he was my hero, man. I lost him 2 years ago in February, 2 years ago. He started me off in radio in 1986 when I was 15 years old, man. I've been doing radio ever since, man. I got a show on the air now, but when people ask, I just be like,
wait, hold up, man. What you got a show on? So you still connected to radio as well? I was gonna ask all this, but now since
the next question I was gonna ask when we got off the air was, can I get my show on y'all station? Look, because right now it's on 35 stations. It's on FM, AM, iHeart, digital stuff, and I'm trying to just.
What are you doing and what's it called? Look, we ain't getting nowhere near the music at all yet.
No, I got time, man. I ain't got to rush. I know you go, but up. So it was called Party and Bull-ish, but I got tired of having to edit, so it's just called Party and Bull-ish. And it's me and my homegirl Shaitan Latique, and I got a couple DJs. It's a 2-hour old school R&B and hip hop mix show. And I slide in my new records when I drop them because I got a new one out now. And I do radio, man. I'm a radio dude, man. I've been doing it since I was 15 years old, and I did at ZAK in Cleveland for 14 years, hip hop. I worked every shift, man. Then after that, I went to the Virgin Islands for a year where I did Caribbean, I did classic rock, I did the regular, urban AC. Then after that, I came back and did some low power AM, and then from then on, I just been doing internet. And now, big up to my man Charles Brock. He has his network, and he started me off on the FM station here through his team. And man, 34 stations later, I'm out here, man. We rolling. I'm trying to take it global, man. I
had no clue that you were still doing
I'm an old school dude.
Wow.
Man, so, I have to. I'm an old school dude. And I still believe in being a personality, which they have snatched from a lot of the DJs. They only allow like one person in every market, or they'll take them and syndicate them and force feed them to everybody. You know what I mean? I'm still that guy.
So since we talking about radio, I didn't know we was going here today, but I got to. And I think now that I know your history, I know that this is a conversation I can have with you. What do you think the problem is with radio right now? Because most people feel like no one listens to radio anymore. The young kids don't listen to radio. They don't care about it at all. And where are we to you, in this era that we in where everybody seems to be diminishing radio?
I love radio, but I think radio sucks. I think they need to give it back to the people. Coming up, it was people driven. It was you heard what the people wanted to hear, and then all of a sudden they got this crazy idea to just, and I know what this is all about, but just to force feed everybody what they wanted them to hear, and then that becomes the trend in the hit records. That becomes the staples. To me, all these stars and all these records that have been broken aren't necessarily the best records, but they're the records that have the machine behind them. You know what I'm saying? Once the industry totally changed over, and it's a hand in hand thing. They all work together to do this thing, and it's okay. If I had $1 billion to fight it, I I would, but $1 billion wouldn't be enough to fight it, to bring it back, to give it to the people. But somehow too, the people have just taken it. You know what I mean? It was like with everything, the people have dumbed down their resistance to BS. It's like they'll go to a show and they'll see somebody singing or rapping over their lead tracks. Man, I heard Jay-Z say, man, don't play the track with the vocals. If you're gonna play the track with the vocals, man, you might as well just put my picture up here and play the record. But man, I saw he did that at the So Def 20th anniversary thing on TV, and I agree, man. I've a lot of artists work hard, a lot of radio guys work hard on their craft, people work hard on their craft, and you take it away by empowering those that may have the numbers or may have the look or may have the cash to buy in. Man, they don't believe in raw talent anymore, man. And that's all the way around in the business.
Do you
man.
think it'll
Seriously.
change?
Not as long as they keep making money off of it, as long as they can control it.
Yes,
No.
Sir. Yeah.
Nobody's gonna ever buck this. And people are too scared to be hurt. People are too scared to lose what they have. People are too scared to be exposed for the things that they've been doing on the down low.
All right, folks. A lot of stuff has happened that you won't know about ever, but we edited and we start right from here.
Man,
when we last left, we was talking about, the conditions of radio. What's it going to take for it to change? If you think it's going to change. And then, like I said, I feel like we family now. We ain't touched the music yet, but I promise those watching, we're going to get there.
We're going to put our hands all over.
So do you think it ever make a return, in your opinion, to what it was?
It would have to be a concerted effort for it to change. And that means from the people up top that are controlling the puppet strings to the people, to the companies, to everything else, to the people that are pulling the strings. Did they ever get? I don't know, because they don't have a conscience up there. It's all about the dollar. So no.
I was getting ready to say, I knew you was going to round up something. No.
I'm about to run off some long. No, it won't, because people only care about the dollar. They don't care about their families. They don't care about their friends. They don't care about values. They just care about the dollar. So no, it's not going back.
That's fair. All right, and now I'm gonna go back to something else we were talking about. Your uncle, officially, Lynn Tolliver, who passed away about 2 years ago. I'm just curious, were you around when he created? Because I know he did music too, and I never made the connection from the Lynn Tolliver to this sexual harassment record, I Need a Freak. But it's a classic underground record. If you 80s, the 90s, still to this day, if you play that song right now, old heads gonna be like, oh, that's what we doing. You know what I mean? Were you around or know the participants or some of the layers of that song? And I'm just curious. And then I know you got your whole own history, but man, when we were youngsters, because we about the same age, I love that record. And I'm sure
that record has been done over by Tiger and Megan, Snoop Dogg, Too Short, the Insane Clown Posse, Egyptian Lover. That's the sample from My Humps. My boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Black Eyed Peas. Yeah.
Yo, he is and the thing that's shocking is that he didn't take care. So I'm in the process of cleaning up all that right now.
I was about to ask, does the family own any piece of that?
Yes, man, but it's got all scattered up. So it's like when he passed away, when I came home from the repast, just to tell you, I had $24,000 in publishing checks in my suitcase that I had picked up from the mail. And his wife currently was like, when you come back to town, you got to take them to the lawyer because it's in probate, because his ex-wife put a lien on his estate.
Oh.
Yeah, man. She's a that. And just being bitter, but yeah, I was around. I was like about 13, 12 years old, man, when they went in the studio. So the group Sexual Harassment was just a collective of his people. It was him, my mother, who I lost in 1990, which is the song So Alone is about, a guy named Jeffrey Charles, who's the reason why Jason and myself got discovered at his house by Gerald Levert.
Wow.
A guy named Lee Zappis, who was the son of the owner of the station that he ran for those almost 30 years. I forgot the others, and there's a couple other people that were in the group as well. And it was just a collective of friends, man, that he had that were musical, and they put the record together. It had a whole album, man. And it crazy. The whole album has kind of like this Prince vibe to it. You know, it's nasty stuff. He got a song there called "If I Gave You a Party, Would You Come?" And he ain't talking about COME. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And the crazy thing, I redid "I Need a Freak" too, because he had me redo some of the stuff. And yeah, man, that record is he got a BMI award for it. You know, like I said, and
Really? Gosh.
yeah, and
well,
you know,
it's good to know that. I mean, well, it's bad to know that it's tied up, but it's good to know that the family still has they pause on the ownership.
And I got my hand all up her skirt right now. Trust me. Because I need a freak.
But it's a classic record, man. I just had to ask when I saw, and I never made the connection. I'm like, man, it can't be that this guy's from Cleveland area, Lynn Tolliver, who ran it for years in Cleveland, and this. So I had to ask, and then it's crazy to know that you was around in the process of that song. So that's wild.
He was the reason when he found out that Jason and I could sing. He put us in the studio with some other artists, and we did an album called Rap Festival. Now we were the only singers on the album.
Can I find this record?
Huh?
Can I find this record?
I don't know. We had a record on there called Girl, which was a singing song, and we had a rap record on there called Do the Beethoven. And it was a dance that I swear that thing that MC Hammer, that Dougie Fresh be doing, that was a dance we was doing there. So I don't know, but we know I was 16 and Jason was 13 at the time, so we were just excited. We wasn't thinking about nothing, but you might be able to find Rap Festival. It had various artists on there. It was a song called, you know what, you gonna make me look for that.
Hey man, I know a little site, man. I might find it on there. What was the name of the group at the time?
BBT, Big But Talented.
Let's see, BBT. All right, I'm gonna wait till I get off of this because I don't want people to get mad at me. But I'm gonna damn sure look for this record. Then I'm gonna hit you back and like I'm gonna buy it, and then I'm gonna just take a picture of it and send it to you.
Yeah, man, we definitely got to exchange info too after this. You a good guy.
No doubt. So okay, so now I'm glad because you're moving this along for me. So you and your partner Jason, y'all get found by Gerald Levert. Explain that part of the story.
So I have been
before you get there. And was you rapping first? Because you kind of like threw something out there, like maybe you was rapping and singing just happened. So I want to be clear.
I was both, which you can explain why Jason was so far ahead of me, you know, vocally, you know, because I was doing a lot of rapping, and you know, I was even in a crew called the Hip Hop Coalition, and we was going around the city and we'd be rapping. I wasn't even really singing. I would sing with Jason sometime, but he was going to the School of Arts, and you know, I was heavy into the radio stuff. So, and then, you know, I was 3 years older than him, so I was out of high school, and you know, it was a lot of artists coming to town, man. It wasn't nothing for De La Soul or Public Enemy or people coming into town. They had events, and I'm hosting the events or just going to them and hanging out. So I was heavy, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm a hip hop fanatic. I'm a hip hop. I love Mobb Deep, Nas, Jay-Z. I mean, I love all of the East Coast stuff. Yeah, and so meeting Gerald, my mom worked for the government for 19 years before she passed, but she worked at this record store called Fillmore East on the weekends. And, you know, back then, artists, I don't care how big or small you were, you had to go to the mom and pop stores. And if you didn't go to mom and pops, they would not buy your records from the one stops, from the city distributor.
Yes,
so
right.
Gerald lived probably like about 3 or 4 miles down the road in the pop's old house, Eddie's old crib, where his mom and them was still there, Sean. And he would come in the record store and just frequent. At this time, I'm like 12, 13 years old, somewhere around there. I'm not even really realizing what's happening in front of my eyes. And, you know, next thing you know, years go by, you know, because they get this big independent record Dancing With You, and they start to go regionally, moving around. I'm just calling the story now because I wasn't paying attention to it then. I'm just telling you what transpired.
Yeah.
Jason, I worked overnight at the station most of the time, so Jason would come with me. I'm 16, 17, he 13. And one night, the guy Jeffrey Charles has a show, because he was a singer too. He was in the sexual harassment group, but he had a record called Tonight at 9. and him and my uncle wrote. So they had an after party at his house. Man, we kids, we there at the house. We always used to go around with this little Casio keyboard because Jason could play the keys a little bit with the tape over the back. We in there, everybody like Gerald comes. At this time, he just normal because everybody know him from him and the boys performing around the city and doing different stuff, not being out on the road yet. But this was right on the cusp of Casanova, pop, pop, pop. He comes in, he sees me and Jason sing. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna hook y'all up." That was 1986. Man, we ain't again until 1989. And they was going on the road with, that first album. What is the Big
Yeah.
Throwdown with Pop, 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 Casanova, Forever Mine, Forever Love. That, man, oh my God, that record. Uh, and then we 89, they get ready to go on the road with Just Coolin'. Gerald sees me, oddly enough. I don't know if you're familiar with a company called the Nerve DJs. My man Johnny O, they used to have a crew called Johnny O and the Sorcerer Crew, and they were big independently, and they were selling records out their trunk, and they was touring. And me and my other guy, see, everybody done left me, man. My guy Cloyd, we were dancing for them. He passed away in 18, and
Wow.
we coming out the studio, and Gerald was like, "Yo, I got this idea for three big dudes that can sing." Da, 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 da. Within the next few days, we at the studio. We go to the studio in Cleveland. Steve Russell from Troopers there because he was producing their stuff. The Rude Boys were there. Sean and Mark were there. Our office, we sang, and we had brought two other guys. They didn't cut it. Then a couple days later, we auditioned for his dad. And when his dad was like, "You got one," I was like, it's a rap. When he got the validation from his dad, it was a rap. And I'm gonna shorten it because it's long. We had another guy. This dude just passed away. His name is Alfonso Walker.
I'm sorry, man. God.
If yeah, damn. So Doc, if he'd have been in the group, it'd have been like he was on the inside of an outside. He'd been on the outside of an inside joke. If you remember, you'll remember him because remember that time down here in Atlanta, dude robbed R. Kelly's house because he said he owed him money.
I do remember that story.
That was him. That was him. So after he left us, he went on the road extensively with R. Kelly, and he did stuff with Keith Sweat and all kinds of stuff like that. So he was a producer, so he was incredible too. But it just didn't work out. And what I'm finding out now about the business is the reason why he probably didn't make it is because he knew too much, and he would have had our eyes open to a lot more, and we would have known about it then instead of knowing about it now. I'll just put it that way. And that's why, we doing a lot of, digging and finding like, oh damn, that was there. That's mine. Yeah. So yeah, that's the story of how we got discovered. And then from there is history. We started recording in 1990. Here go another good fact for you. We signed the contracts with Gerald's company in 90 through East West Atlantic. 2 months later, my mother dies. Ain't that crazy?
Wow. Sorry.
Sacrificial lamb.
Man, you got a lot of death surrounding and I don't mean to bring that up, but because
Listen,
people, they wasn't there, but when we went down, he told me some other stuff that's going on with his life personally. And I'm like, man, it's almost frightening to know that you were around so much death.
I've been spared because obviously he wants me to do something.
Mm.
And I have told God or whoever you guys believe, to me it's all the same thing. Whatever he wants me to do, I'll do it. I'm open to hear it. And I think that I'm following the path, but it has been a lot of death, man. It's been hurtful. And honestly, I got to get back in therapy. It's black. What is it? Men's mental health
Mental
month
health,
now, right now.
yeah, yes, sir.
I'm an advocate for mental health, man. I just lost like 130 pounds, and I'm doing a foundation called Eat Your Heart Out for childhood obesity and teenage mental health. I have a friend who has this app. It started off being an app that was focused on kids that didn't have dads and they needed advice. You go to this app and do this because her son had tried to commit suicide because people were picking on him because he has cerebral palsy. Long story short, it turned into a whole thing, health and wellness with her app. And she told me on my show that last year, that from the age of 13 to 26, there were 51,000 suicides, but over 1 million attempts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, it's crazy out here. So that's what I'm all about, man. And I got sidetracked with this last thing that happened with me losing my niece, like I was telling you earlier. But I'm about to get back on it, man. And I want to go around the country doing fundraisers, and not you giving money to some foundation and you never see what happens. I'm going to pre-pick families before I get to the city and put money in these people's hands where you might have an obese, I'm gonna say heavy because obese is not really a pretty word, a heavy set kid where you can't afford to buy durable clothes. Like you can't really shop for somebody wear a 4 or 5X at Burlington Marshalls. They got it, but it's cheap. You got to go
Yep.
to DXL. Shirts there is $50, $60 a piece. People don't have those budgets. Let me get you a few pair of clothes, like a week's worth of clothes. Let me take you to a healthy food store and show you alternative
Love that.
snacks that are comparable to the things that you eat all the time. A mother that don't have time to cook, let's go find some things that you. Let me get you a whole cart full of healthy foods. Let's change that. Let teach these kids how to read. You know what you're eating, what you're putting in your body. It may not have an immediate effect, but what happens when it comes up later? You 15 now, you 400 pounds, and you never lose the weight, and you just keep eating. You may live to be 40 or 50, but you're gonna have all these other ailments, edema with swelling, diabetes, heart trouble. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff, man. Your
Now that's
limbs and
interesting
stuff.
you say all this because you're coming from a group that was called Men at Large that celebrates being big.
And because I've been through it. I went through it. Yeah, I went through it. And I'm saying my partner now, Jason, has gotten super heavy and is walking bone on bone. He doesn't have any health ailments, and I haven't had any health ailments. The highest I ever been was 525. Man, I'm 280 now. So
Man,
yeah,
woo, congrats, man. That's a
hey,
lot of
man.
weight loss.
I just when they start
Wait,
telling
would
you
you
like
was it exercise? You changed your diet? What
I changed
happened?
my whole life, everything. I did everything that they had on the market. I tried it until I got it right. I tried everything, dog, and until I got it right. And because you could take shots, you can become vegan, you can do keto, you can do whatever it is. You have to find out what works for your body because you could do something that may be trending and been working for 1 million people over here, but you might be 1,000,001, and as healthy as it seems, it still might not work. They don't teach you that part. You
Yeah.
know, they
So
don't.
what part works for you?
What part worked for me?
Yeah. What worked for you?
A lot of sex, man. With white women. Nah. So keeping it a
Now
buck.
remember, somebody might see this or hear this and be like, "Well, honey, look, my man Dave said we got to do it more often so I can lose 200 pounds. What we
I
gonna do?"
did. I did. So I'm gonna be honest with you, and I haven't told a lot of people this because I really didn't want to until I got all the way down. But you, my man. So when I was like 500, I did the gastric bypass. Right, I was 525. I lost like 200. Then I gained like about 90 of them back, and I got up to like 380. Then I got up to like 420 something, and I was like, then I made a conscious effort to just seriously change, and I started doing the low carb stuff and exercising and working out. But like I'm like, damn, I'm working out and I'm not losing no weight. I'm swimming every day, miles a day, and I'm not losing no weight. And I'm like, damn. So then I kept going yo-yo. And so then I started doing the keto. That worked like crazy for me. I lose 40, 50, get distracted, gain it back. So I was getting ready to get my gastric redone because my homegirl, Andrea Poe, I call her Pokey. She's a stylist for a lot of the celebrities. And she got hers redone. And I was like, man, I don't want no more surgeries, man, because I done had hip replacements, all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got nerve damage from that shit. So I was like, I'm gonna get mine redone. And they was like, well, it's self-pay. And I'm like, damn. I was like, all right, cool. And they was like, well, you're a little too heavy for our table. You'd have to go to the hospital to get it done. I'm like, nah, man, I don't want to pay that. And I said, well, I don't know. Let me just see what's up. They said, well, there's this shot. So here, I'm gonna give it to y'all. I took the Manjaro shot and it worked for me immediately. And it's still working. I lost over 130 pounds with it.
What
It,
does it do?
it curbs your appetite. And they say that you don't with these shots, they say that you don't have to change it. I'm gonna give you this. You know what I'm saying? They say with the shot you don't have to change your diet, but that's bullshit. you have to change it. It's going to force you to change it. And like with anything else, you have to take notes of what affects your body, what it does to your body when you eat. Like I've never had diabetes, and at my highest weight, never been in the danger zone. Never had high blood, even at my highest weight, never been in the danger zone. The doctors could never figure it out. It's a combination of a lot of things, man, that you got to do, man. It has to become a lifestyle from the mental aspect, which is the hardest part. You're not just gonna take these shots and be eating chocolate and chips and all kinds of. You ain't gonna do that because it's gonna backfire on you, and you're gonna be wasting your money, and you're gonna be wasting your time, and probably ruining your body. And who knows what's gonna happen? Like the money is in the sickness, not in the cure. So, but the key is I go to my doctor every month. I take my blood work, the urine, everything. I'll never go in there and they'll come back and say, "Oh, Mr. Tolliver, I'm sorry." I'll be like, "Nah." Well, if you are, let's fill out this young sorry payment plan you're gonna have for my family after, because I've been coming in here and you've been, it's all key and essential.
Yep.
It's key and essential with anything that you're doing, man. And I've tried all the diets, man. Like I remember I tried to get on Jenny Craig and be the face. They told me I was too fat. You know what I mean? They said they weren't interested in anybody that had to lose over 50 pounds. My girl works for the corporate out in California. And they was like, "Oh, wow, he looks like an interesting candidate." They told me to call them back because I wanted to be the face. And people, for me, I needed to lose this weight. And it's not fast because it's been since the end of 22. So it's taken me about a year. Yeah, I started in September. So a year and, well, a little over a year, almost
Okay.
2 years to lose
Yeah.
130 plus pounds, which ain't bad, which is slow rolling.
You're doing it though. You're doing it though.
And,
Congrats.
and my thing is, I ain't gaining it back. Not this time. I have a daughter that's 18, and I just look at, like I said, everybody that, like you keep saying, that death around me, I don't want it. And it's not gonna happen to me. And I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that I still be here.
So if you
It's
get
hard.
skinny, that kind of diminishes the name Men at Large, huh?
What's crazy is that a couple promoters told my guy that I was lying, that it wasn't me. And so now I have to do this new campaign, and I did, but I have to really do it, like, because I have a bunch of shows coming up, and like I got a show in Kansas City on the 22nd, and it's a minute large show, and I'm gonna come out as half the guy I used to be. The pictures that they got up there is me at like 400 something pounds, like, and it's
Ooh, so they're gonna think that it ain't really you.
they don't know when I start singing, SAIN singing. You can't take this away. The
Nah,
only thing that says difference about this is, I got the beard, a little gray, and I don't have no hair from the original photo. But if you put them side by side,
you
you'll
most
see
certainly
some
can tell.
difference. You can see some difference, but you'll be able to tell. And when I start SANGIN, it's over.
So I guess I'm glad you brought up your homie Jason. I don't. Do you guys not perform, or he just such in a way that is y'all are unable to perform
Man,
together?
he left the group in '96. Then here go another death. Then I got another guy by the name of Gemini. Him and I rocked for about 24 and a half years. He died 2 years ago, right after the pandemic from COVID and pneumonia. Man, it broke my heart. I just released a single the other day on his birthday called Chicago South Side. And it's a dedication to him. It's been sitting on my hard drive for a minute. And after that, things kind of changed between me and Gemini a little bit. He never got a chance to experience the national side of things. So behavior, you can't act local if you've been national. You know what I mean? Because I tell people the career right now is like, if you go to a girl's house and she got the chain on the door, if you say the right things, you're going to get in, you're going to get in. But if you don't say the right thing, she's going to close the door. And so I try to do everything the right way when we do it. And he was kind of doing a couple things that I was like, and he told me, "Man, I've been a part of this group for the longest, so I can do what I want." And I respected that, but I was like, "All right, let me show you. We still were brothers, and we was always gonna be brothers." And but it just kind of changed. And then people were clamoring during the pandemic. Jason and myself, I was doing something called the Dave Tolliver Show on Instagram. And on Tuesdays, I had an independent talent thing, and people would call in and send money to my cash out for me to give away to these people. And on Thursday, I would do national acts. So on the Thursday, one day, I did me and Jason a tell-all and questions. People was asking questions, and what was supposed to be 40 minutes turned into almost 3 hours of us being on Facebook Live. And that night I did Facebook. I didn't do Instagram because I felt we would get more traction on Facebook. And as soon as the pandemic was it was lifted, but it still was covered some, we started recording. And the first day we recorded was on Gerald's birthday in 2001. And we was like, well, let's just get together and see how it goes. Because we never really fell out, but when we did, it was over something stupid. And so after that, we got in the studio on Gerald's birthday in 2001. I'm jumping the years.
That's a
And when we got in the studio, no, go ahead. You want to go, or you want me to
no, no,
finish?
no, no. Go.
Yeah. I told you this was gonna be the interview of the year. This Cat Williams, hey, this Cat Williams and Club Shay Shay right here, baby. We in the studio and we recording it, and it was a record we did called "Treat Yourself." So when we were finished, the producer was like, Jason was like, man, I just feel like Gerald's spirit is in the room, man. God's telling me this, and that this time it's not about the music, it's about something else. And I just feel Gerald's spirit, he getting his pastor voice and started talking. And so he said, the producer was like, guys, I don't know. After he heard him talk, I said, man, I'm with you this time. Because any other time he said, well, God, I'll be like, yeah, all right. But this time I said, I'm with you, man. Because, life will teach you that you need, when you hear them voices, you pay attention.
Yes, sir.
And I said, all right, I'm with you this time. And the engineer was like, guys, I don't know if you know, but normally when people send the thing, they have a title on it, but this one is just titled 713, which is Gerald's birthday. And we was like, and to me, it turned out the album is called Love Benefits. It came out, the single was In My Feelings, which came out 30 years almost to the date of Use Me, our first single. And the album Love Benefits came out almost 30 years to the date of the first album, Men at Large. And I guarantee you it's the best album that we've ever recorded in the whole Men at Large catalog. Jason and I did two, me and Jim and I did two. And this one is the fifth, and it came out in June of 22, and it's called Love Benefits, and I've said that 3 times already, and it's a classic, man. Just that we had did it through what's the company we did it through? They got everybody on their label, but they weren't giving us any money for it. It was just like a sync licensing type of thing, and for the first, they do it for the first 8 weeks or so. It was rolling. Like we was the number one most downloaded record over in London for a couple days. We was on all these playlists. The stuff was number one on these independent charts and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it just bloop. But we was touring. We was doing like 3 or 4 dates a month. We was all over everywhere. But his health body was getting, it was deteriorating as we was going, because I've been there with the hips, but my hips, they say for every 50 pounds there's 400 pounds of pressure on your knees.
Mm.
That's a hell of a lot of pressure for my man. So
Yeah.
being walking bone on bone. So eventually, I was getting calls and people saying this, that, and the third about us. And I was like, and I told him, and he was like, man, I can't go out no more anyway. And I don't think he wanted to go out no more. So I just told him I was gonna get somebody else. He was like, cool. And forward now, I put up a post and I was like, I could take this person, that person. And I was like, nah, let me take the post down. And then I got I don't know if you're familiar with a dude named Benito Glosson. He used to sing with Hammer back in the day.
Wow.
So
You
he
getting
remind
okay.
me of Gemini. So we get ready to go out and start doing some things. I'm never doing another Man at Large record ever. I don't care. They had to flash some serious money and a guarantee in my face. I'm never ever doing another Man at Large record again. It just seems as if the first time when we separated after the second album, that was the time for me to step into that portal. Like on Flash, how you step into that portal to go to the what's the whatever verse,
Yeah.
metaverse. I should have stepped into it then, but I listened to your man Lynn Tolliver and his crew of people that he had that were record industry professionals that was like, if somebody's gonna put some money up, then go with it, keep going, because we was rolling. I mean, we was burning at the time.
So
And
you feel like you probably should have went solo much earlier on and just cut your losses.
man,
And they were telling you, no, you got to go with this Men at Large. You got the platinum record. You got to go with this. You got the hit behind it. You got to go with that. You can't just separate now. It's too early in the game.
they was like, find somebody else and do it. And I respected him so much. And I was 24, 25 at the time.
So you regret that?
Yeah. No, I don't have any regrets, man, because I could have told him to kiss my ass. But I respected him so much. I went with it because I thought he knew what he was talking about. And he did to a certain extent. But what happened with this first record, it wasn't done well. It's called Love, Struggle, and Progress. It was not done well. It was a lot of the guy had millions of dollars. This is my guy. I love him to this day. And what I would cuss him out, talk shit about him. But what he was trying to do, he was a white Italian dude. What he was trying to do, the black cats weren't hip to yet. You know, when you black with money, it's different than when you white with money. You know what I'm saying? Like black artists and people with money now are, over the last 10, 15 years, maybe are getting privy to those digital and them tech deals and all this other stuff. The white counterparts are coming to them, say, hey, you got some money. Back then, they didn't do that. So this white dude, my guy, Scotty Campaign, I love him to death. He's my guy, man. He's helped me out and bailed me out on some crazy situations and stuff like that. He was ahead of the game. He was trying to take stuff digital before it was time. And they weren't going for it, and they kind of shut it down, so it kind of hurt it. And so, you know, that's what happened with that. But the album was okay. I had a few records on there. You know, I did most of the writing and production with a couple other people, but it just, the sound wasn't sonically the way it should have been or could have been, and he had the money to. And after that, I was like, I ain't doing this no more. But we rolled. We was touring like crazy. Then I was like, I ain't doing no more Men at Large, man. And then here comes somebody with some money. Then we dropped another record in 2000, so 99. So 92, 94, 99 was the first independent. Then 2007, we did Back on Top, where we tried to emulate the same picture as the first one, where we was on this bridge. It was in Indiana somewhere. And that dude ended up getting killed. So that, I mean, the guys, I mean, it's been a lot. Hey, man.
Been a lot of death around you, man.
Yeah, you know, I'm still here though. I ain't going nowhere. And if they try to take me, I'm gonna fight like hell to stay.
It seems like you never stopped. And I think a lot of people get the idea, these artists that seem to just blow up, and then all of a sudden, it kind of seemed like it gets quiet. But it sounds to me, and clarify for me if I'm wrong, that you've been working since you've been working, so to speak. It's never stopped for you.
Hey, man, they say Nas says sleep is the cousin of death. I don't sleep. Man, I've done over 60 stage plays. I continuously do my radio shows. Man, I can't tell you how many different radio shows that I've done, from terrestrial to internet to digital, whatever you want to call it. Man, I've done vocal coaching. I've done some consulting. I've worked for a couple of labels. I just don't stop. I host events, man. I sit on panels. Oh man.
And you still perform as an artist too. You still go out and do shows, and you still perform under the Men at Large banner.
I go out solo as Dave Tolliver from Men at Large. I do Men at Large. I've done it with me and Jason, me and Gemini, me and Jason, and now me and Benito get ready to go hit it. And this new thing we got going, the Levert Experience, man. It's man,
Now talk to me about that. I think I've heard about this. So the brothers, one of the guys from Men at Large,
yeah,
is one of the brothers from the actual group Levert. Obviously, not the two brothers. Yeah, Mark. And is it one of the brothers out the Rude Boys?
O.E. Beans, Joe Little from the Rude Boys. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now let's talk about that. So not only are you still doing all this other stuff you're doing, you guys are getting ready to create another. Is it a trio with just you guys?
Just us three, man.
What's the name of this group?
It's called we called it the Levert Experience because it was a tribute to Gerald on the Tom Joyner cruise. And man, up there and tow ass. We went out there and tow ass on that cruise, man. So I'm ready. I'm because I when Gerald and Sean had passed, I told Mark, I said, man, I'll lose 200 pounds, man, if you let me be in the group, man, because it was only right. I feel like I'm the only dude. Like I redid, baby, I'm ready. It's out for you to get now. I redid it. I did it my
What
way
did you put it? What did you put it on?
on all the streaming platforms. I just
It,
don't have money. Man, I don't have the money to be promoting that and taking care of these kids and these mortgages. I take care of home first, and it worked for me. Like when you put something out, it creates, the algorithm changes a little bit. You stay aggressive with it because I stayed aggressive with it. I did a thing where I put the cover as people's wedding pictures. I got Chubb Rock and his wife on there, me and my wife, a bunch of, I even got same sex on there. And it worked for me, and it still worked. When they come bing, 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 I do it every time I perform, baby, I'm ready. And I feel like I'm the only dude that can do Gerald justice doing his, well, I do it the best.
okay.
I like that. There's a lot of cats out there that do it, but I feel like I do it the best because I am him.
So
That's
y'all
my
going
guy.
around performing songs from from the Levert catalog, or are you going around doing songs from just Gerald,
Everybody.
or
No,
are
we
y'all
did.
doing songs from your catalog, from Men at
So
Large catalog, Rude Boys, Levert, and and
the
Gerald
whole
solo stuff?
the whole
How are
package.
y'all doing all that?
So on the cruise, it was just a tribute to Gerald. So we did the Levert side, and a guy named Terry Harris, who does the Gerald stuff around, around the country in different places. He did Gerald's solo stuff. But man, we did ABCs, one, two, threes, all seasons.
Did the idea for this come just because the Tom Joyner cruise, or was this something that y'all were thinking about years ago or before the cruise, or
I was
however
thinking
that came
about it.
about?
I was thinking about it. Nobody else was. I've been thinking about. Man, I remember after we was doing our second album, I told Gerald, I said, "Hey, man, we should do a group called 4X. Me, you, Jason, and Sean, and call it 4X because all of us was big dudes, and let's run it." And man, next thing I know, here come LSG. I was like, "Damn!" But I get it. The game is about names and guarantees of filling seats and stuff like that. People don't give a damn about nostalgia a lot of times. Yeah, they do, but I don't know if they're gonna go out and put money on it and buy into it. But who knows? It all depends on how powerful the impact of the artist was. And I know we had some impact, but not as great of the impact as some people think, or as we do Usher numbers. Shit, we did okay. But I did okay enough to where I'm still able to feed my family on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Sometimes up
no
and down. I'm
no doubt.
grateful that I'm not just a dude sitting at the crib like that because I can do plays. I can direct plays if I wanted to. And I'm like, the other day I was talking to my home. I said, man, it's time for me to write my own damn play. I'm tired of working for cats, man.
So are y'all going to perform? Okay, okay? Have y'all decided that y'all going to tour together? Have you
Yeah.
decided y'all going to put out albums together,
We
or
we gonna
what's the
tour, we gonna do music, we gonna do the whole nine, man. And when we like on the boat, we just stay there. But when we go out on the road, we'll do Use Me and So Alone, maybe Good, and Joe would do Are You Lonely For Me, Written All Over Your Face. Definitely we did that on the boat, Written All Over Your Face. We did Written All Over Your Face and So Alone on the boat, and the rest of the stuff was just Levert stuff, just cooling, good old days. Oh my God. I mean, that feels so, but when we go on the road, we'll touch into more stuff, you know, the Levert, they got so many damn records. We could just do their stuff, but it needs to be executed. And I'm the only one that can do it. The family, man, of
yeah,
course we could probably interchange parts, but to have the passion and to be able to deliver it, because shit, we was there, we was in the studio, we was at the rehearsals, we was on the tours, so we know how to. Man, you got to go on Black America Web, and they should have my post of me doing Baby I'm Ready. They got So Alone up there, Written All
mhm.
Over Your Face. If it's not there, you can go to Dave Men at Large and see how I tore down Baby I'm Ready. Man, I had never heard screams like that before, and it was, man.
I can tell you still you. I know you're surrounded and I don't want the theory, the theme around this to be I was surrounded by death, because you've taken it, you've embraced it, and you feel like there's a mission for you. But you seem to be happy. You making things happen. It still seems like you wake up in the morning like, man, I can't wait to see what's going to happen today. Will I be able to accomplish A, B, C, D, or E, F, G, or whatever? It seems like you still got that energy, still like you have a passion for the music still.
Man, and you know what's crazy? I have my college degree too, but I can't see losing with this music because I'll be 54 July 30th. There's no way that I could go and work for someone that's 25, 30, and doing something. I love the corporate world because I had to hit it for a minute. I had a little hip check when I came back from the Virgin Islands, and I had to go into the corporate world for a minute. And that time I was only in my 30s. That was different, but being 50 and having to kiss somebody's ass to get my paycheck. And I don't mean that to disrespect people, but when you come from a certain level of being your own scheduler, where you report to work when you want to report, you do what you want to do. Doing that ain't really a great adjustment. I don't know how many people can adjust to that easily, unless you just have no choice. And there's just so many things that I can do that I know how to do. Wow. That I know how to do that will keep me paid for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? I'm not rich or overly abundant, but my bills are paid and I'm cool.
When every artist or group experience what seems to be, oh, we ain't popping no more. What went through your mind at that time, and did you feel like, oh, the game is over, I won't be able to do this anymore?
Man, you know what's crazy? You asked that question, man, because sometimes I still go through that, and then I get 80 million phone calls saying, we want you here, we want you there, we want you there. I'm gonna tell you one of the unfortunate things about my life is not ever having is me always having to be the leader in everything. And I didn't learn till later in my life that if you hang around 9 broke friends, you're bound to be the 10th one, the famous line from EPMD. And if you hang around 9 stupid folks, you're bound to be the 10th one. It's like I didn't understand the importance of placing people around me that are smarter than me, more money than me, more wisdom than me. And it's not because I wanted to be in front or be the center of attention, because I could give a damn about that. I just Everybody that was around me, I just wanted them to come and have fun and be a part of what was going on. I felt closest to them, safest with them, but I always had to carry the ball across the goal line. And that, after a while, it's no fun. I've never had the best support team that I could have had, whether that was musically, uh, you know, even being married, you know, the things that I've gone through, and I'm giving you candid shit, bro. Like, yeah, things that, the things that I've gone through, these type of things, a lot of times send you to the arm, to the bed, or the house of another woman and never come back when you have people in your life that don't know how to help you when you're down. And I'm saying, if you go through my timeline, you'll see that I've lost a lot with family, with ups and downs, with careers and everything. And then I've had to just fix it myself, because that's been my whole life, bro. Is having to fix it myself. And I didn't understand the importance of therapy until after the guy I used to dance with passed away at 18. I stay in it. I got to get back in it now, but I stay in it, man. Instead of me always having to, this is what happens to me. Somebody say, "Oh, I'm so sorry for what happened, man." Yeah, but man, I just lost this, and I'm like, I thought you called to check on me, and then it flips from them checking on me to me counseling these folks. That's what I've been going through for the last 30 years of my life, and that's the unfortunate part of being who I am, is not having the strongest support team. But because I've had so many weak people around me, or people that might not have been, I don't want to say weak, let me take that back. So many people that didn't have the knowledge but professed to have had it, the prowess, the knowledge, the experience, the know-how, didn't. You get this lack of trust for people, and people doing anything, so you end up having to do everything your damn self, and that's
Mhm.
exhausting.
Boy, I,
I
all I can
told you this,
all I can
Cat
say is
Williams,
I
Shay
understand.
Shay.
All I can say is I understand. That's all I can say, and I'm gonna
Hey
leave that.
man, this Cat Williams and Shay Shay, baby.
No, but that's truth, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now, here's a this is still of the same conversation. I'm just curious of your feelings on it, though. It seems to me like there is a resurgence in the music that was put out during the time of the Men at Larges, the Jodeci's, everything in them in those '90s. What do you think it is? And even you probably go to some of your shows and you see these young kids here, like some 18-year-old kid, like, how you know about Men at Large? Are you surprised by that?
No, and that's what moving to Atlanta from Cleveland taught me. I was doing the independent thing of my own, man. So, they still were selling CDs when I came here, like '04. So I would go around and I would sing at these places. Like we had this clique called the KONVOZ Syndicate. It was me, Tony, Terry, and like 5 or 6 other local cats that we had clicked up with down here. And we would go around and be singing at different spots. And sometimes I would just go by myself. And this was the line. Man, I F with you the long way, cuz. Man, my mom and my grandmama used to play that. Oh man, y'all had that song. They played that at my grandmama's funeral. They played that at
Mm.
my boy that got killed. They played at his funeral. Or they'll be like, man, that music sounds like something my mom and them used to listen to. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna look you up and check you out. And next time I seen them, they was like, yo, man, y'all had some. So that's the gift of technology is being able to go and press a button and not having to go into Encyclopedia Britannica to look up something in a book, because folks don't want to pick up a book, but they'll pick up a phone and go to Google and say Dave Tolliver or Men at Large. And my thing is, when I came down here, I used to perform in front of a lot of young cats, and I say, oh, yo, my name is Dave Tolliver from this '90s group called Men at Large, man. Y'all might not have heard about me. Ask your mama about me. Ask your auntie. I said, I see a couple fat, light-skinned dudes in here. Yeah, we used to run wild. You better ask your mama about me, man, because one of y'all might be my illegitimate child and start the music. So while I had them on the joke, I had them in and went on the music. They were like, yo, yeah, cuz, I go you the long way, cuz. I'm going to call mama. Yeah, so. Not surprised at all. And then TikTok. As much as they want to talk about how TikTok is, these, but man, it has helped out a lot of groups, man. I've seen a lot of stuff on there on us too, and it brought back a lot of cats and helped out a lot of people. You know, so I'm hoping that it'll become like a so alone challenge, a use me challenge. Hell, somebody go on and bring it and do it. I don't give a damn.
And then, because I know you got things to do, but fine. Did you think that song was going to blow up? The So Alone song was going to be what it, because like you said before, that's one of them songs that when things happen, unfortunately, that's going to be the go-to record that they play still to this day. Did you think it was going to be that when you was making it, or when it, because you put out another single first?
I
So
hated. We put out 2 singles first. We did "Use Me," "You Me," man, and I think did they do it? No, they did that one. Okay, and so we got 5 singles off our first album. So man, I hated that record, and I still don't really like it to this day because Gerald wrote that song for me to sing to my mom after she passed away. So when I sing it, it's like, damn, only thing I'm thinking about is the last time I saw my mom is like cold on that slab. And
mm,
so at the time, my mom had died. Jason's dad died like 9 months after that. Gerald's grandfather had just died. Our road manager's dad had just passed. And one of the
mm.
Rude Boys, Buddy Banks, he was heavy into the drugs. He was missing. And we knew where he was. We didn't know where he was, but he knew what he was doing. And the whole room, everybody was crying. And like I said, I was behind Jason as far as like in skills, as far as vocals. And I just thought that it was the worst thing that ever came out of my mouth, because I was like, man, I could do this better. And he was like, nah, man. He'd be like, he'd say, you can edit this out. He was, if you was in the studio, he'd be like, bitch, what the fuck you doing? Man, get the fuck out of there if you was messing up. But when I finished it, and everybody's like, oh my God, you could feel your emotion. I was like, yeah, because I was crying. I was like, man, I want to do it over. He was like, nah, bitch, we leaving it just like that.
Gerald told you that, man. Oh
He was
my.
like, nah, bitch, we leaving it just like that. And it turned out to be the biggest record of my career, man. And I'm grateful to him, forever grateful to him. I had to sing that at his funeral. I sang it at Sean's funeral.
Mm.
Man, I've sang that song at probably over 1,000 funerals. Somebody called me the other day to sing at their mom's funeral for it, and they didn't work it out. It was too high to get home. And now I'm taxing cats because it's emotional distress on me. But it was a song dedicated to my mom, his dad, and we had a big conflict with the record company. I just don't think that they really felt like people were going to gravitate to us, and then when they did, they didn't know what to do with us. Like the video we did for So Alone, if you put that video out today, they would think that Jason and I were both gay. Just how the video, if you see the video, we
I'm gonna go back
walking
and look at
around
it.
together. Yeah, we LGBTQ. We walking around together. We arm around each other. We at the park leaning on each other, man. Like, because they wanted to play off the tenderness of us being best friends and brothers. And if you put that video on today, people would say, "Hey, do them dudes like guys?" Like we wanted to do a funeral scene, then here come Aaron Hall with "I Miss You" with the funeral scene. The girl that, and I'm saying even though we won, like with R&R back in the day, we won the #1 song of the year. Like we beat out everybody, but we wanted to do different things, and they just weren't ready. We never had girls. Like we had girls in like 1 or 2 of our videos, but it was really downplayed. They wanted us to be clowns, like Three Stooges too. They wanted us to be like disorderlies. And that was when they found out how much the ladies and everybody was going crazy over us. The second album came out, and they went through a merger, so we got stopped like 3/4 of the way through the first through the campaign. And but it is what it is, man. The ladies love big dudes. They love men at large, and they definitely love Dave Tolliver. And they love this new one too, boy. Woo! Let me tell you how horrible people are. When you 500 pounds, they'll say hello or barely speak or not even speak to you. But when you lose 240 pounds, they all over you. It's a different day, man. If I wasn't married, dog.
Stop that guy. I don't even want you to have that conversation.
Listen, if I wasn't married, it'd be a girl in here right now. You wouldn't even see her face. She'd be right here. I'm in the car. She'd be right. That's how wild I am, and that's how wild we were, man. You need to do a part 2 on this one because we ain't even finished. You ain't gonna get. I guarantee you. I
Let
know
me
you
tell
gonna
you
get
something,
Joe and
man.
Mark. They ain't gonna talk like this.
Listen. You've made the day an incredible day.
Appreciate it.
Like I said, I do these. The reason you talking to me is the reason why I do these, and people have not ever gotten the chance to see most of their favorite groups that they grew up with. They haven't really ever heard you talk like you think so, probably. But people who really love you that bought those million records, they'll, they might see you, they might not. So it's cool when you get the opportunity to talk to folks like y'all. You've done it on a big level, and you're so humble and normalized and traumatized too, because we're in an industry that traumatizes. People don't talk about that, but you touched on it, and I'm very happy that you did in saying that you in touch with. Hey man, I need to go talk to my therapist to make sure all this is right, because it's a major issue in our society. But your honesty, and how cavalier you are with your honesty is appreciative. I can't wait. I wasn't on the boat, so I didn't get a chance to see all of you all doing these incredible songs. So I'm hopeful at some point we see you here in Houston, even if it's just not you. We get a chance to. I mean, if it's not the guys, we get a chance to see you at some point. Which I think we will.
I've been trying to get all the people I know to book me a gig. Like I came down when I was rehearsing for that play. And I'm gonna tell you, I have been going through some things. So I have been listening to Zacardi Cortez like a
He's
dick.
the one.
Like I was listening to it like it was my records. You don't know, Lord, do it for me, work it out, just everything. And I came down to Houston, and the girl that did the play, she knows them. So we went to Chicago Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
Where his brother was singing at.
Oh, the whole family. Listen, the whole family is crazy.
I've heard.
The family is crazy. Man, trust me. The whole family is crazy.
I heard.
Not crazy, but the vocals. Now they will
That's
get
what I
down.
mean. I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about. You got to clarify for the
They will get down for the crown too. But man,
So
you talking about incredible singers. It don't even make sense that one family has so much talent.
hey man, I'm sitting there and I'm sipping on wine because I stopped drinking anything, over the top hard. And in comes Zacardi effing Cortez. Man, I almost start crying, man. Like I'm not afraid to, these cats be like, no, nah, dude. Because I said, dude, you just don't know how your music has gotten me through some things, man, over the last year. It was the same playlist I'm playing every doggone morning. Man, I did Baby Umbrella. He's like, man, you cold. You cold. I'm like, nah, are you? And I start going, one more time and I'm going to leave it alone. Like he be doing. And then he got up and sang Purple Rain. And I didn't realize that Lord Do It For Me is Purple Rain. Oh, my God. Like, dude, I love Zacardi Cortez, man. And, yeah, man.
We will see you soon, man.
Yeah, let's
We will
book
see
it.
you soon.
Let's book
it. I know we're gonna talk again because you got a bag full of stuff. And it's wonderful. And it was a surprise. It's a surprise. You know what's so kind of cool is this guy that you look up to these people. They made great music, and then you find, oh yeah, I'm a DJ too, bro. It's just it, and you don't realize all of, because I don't know. I do again. I do this too, so I can learn as well. Not just the audience is learning, but I'm learning too. So just to hear you in all these different facets of life and career,
man.
I just love that, man.
When I interview my peers, it's always something like, what? I didn't even know that. Man, I started doing a segment called Where You Been? And like I didn't know, like a lot of these cats, all the stuff that you ain't like what you said. You haven't seen them, and you be like, man, they ain't been doing ish. And then next thing you know, you got this long list like D Train and Tracy Spencer. I never knew all the stuff that they had been doing. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold you, man.
No, I love that.
I love doing interviews like this, man.
I love this. I know we'll speak again. Got to figure out a way to see you in concert though. So we got to figure that one out. But man, and then again, knowing that you were related to the great Lynn Tolliver, and as a broadcaster, and him having certain records that are part of my preteen life that stay with me. It's just great to have this conversation, man. And mostly I appreciate your time because I know Satan was at work heavily trying to stop this.
That dirty son of a gun. Everybody can reach me at Dave Minute Large on any platform that at Dave Minute Large. And Facebook is just Dave Tolliver. And like I said, I got that new single out called Chicago South Side. It's a dedication to my brother Gemini that passed away, who took Jason's place. And then I got another record coming out on the 20th called You Stayin'. I'm just going to keep, they've been in my hard drive. And right after that is a record called I Just Got Played. So I'm everything in my hard drive is coming out over the next, they just coming. I ain't even rolling it out. Sending them out there.
Well, man, I appreciate your time so much, Dave. Thank you so much, man. You made this an incredible day on so many different levels. Man. To you, brother.